good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. It is the 30th day, yes, sir, 30th day of April 2019. Good morning, and welcome to today's edition of Good Day Grenada. I'm George Grant, and yeah, this is the day which the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. He's not going to be in here this morning, but he is going to be with us electronically. I'm referring to Mr. Ray Roberts. It's a Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning. Did I say Wednesday a little while ago? I hope I didn't. Anyhow, Ray's going to be joining us in just a wee bit, but um, we have the national report for you this morning. Yes, we do, and we also have a little piece from Mr. Anthony DeRiggs. Yeah, and this piece is captioned "Better Late Than Never." Anthony is back on the trail. You know, he was here just a few weeks ago, had a great time. This guy just ran around this country constantly with his little smartphone. And ever since he went back up to Brooklyn, he's been putting together a whole lot of stuff. And this morning, we are pleased that we're going to be hearing from him. It's been a little while. But before I do that, let me see. Hey, I see you guys are already out there on Facebook. TF with his unmistakable family. Hello, TF. Good to see you. Peter is in Brooklyn today. Who else is there? Veronica Sandy is there. She's saying good morning and sending blessings to everyone. Girl, do we ever need those blessings as we continue our quest for good governance in this country? Number one priority, at least as far as I'm concerned, and I know that a lot of you out there also feel that way. Something we've just got to keep fighting for, okay? Don't give up. Who else is there this morning? Hello, Margaret. She's saying a basic good morning, folks. Well, Margaret, good morning to you too. And Fitzroy Adams. Fitzroy is referring to us this morning as comrades. Yeah, or comrades. Good morning to you, Fitzroy. And Anthony DeRiggs says, good morning, George. Serious situation developing in Venezuela. Yeah? Yes, Anthony. I know that you're a man of prayer, and when you send up your prayers today, please include Venezuela. And I'm asking all of you out there to do likewise. It's amazing. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate what's happening down there. And when you stop and think about it, it just gives you a much deeper appreciation. While we think we have problems here in Grenada, yeah, we do. But Venezuela and a lot of other countries around the world have it a hell of a lot worse than we do. Huh? Yeah. Oh, by the way, Anthony, I don't know whether or not you've noticed on Facebook there, but you're going to be with us this morning. And we're going to run your little better late than never piece. So hang in there for that. Now, who else is there? Kipling is sending his blessings to you folks as well. And Claire Antwine is saying good morning from Birmingham in the UK. Hello, UK. You made us travel right across the pond to be with you this morning. And we're happy that you've joined us. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. It's 5 minutes after the hour. 5 minutes gone already. We haven't heard from Anthony for what seems like a lifetime. But he's around. I don't know of anyone who makes me reflect on life as much as this gentleman does. Anthony Wendell DeRiggs. Yeah. He brings back a lot of memories of my boyhood and the times he causes you to reflect on how fickle life can be. I want you to listen to this little piece, which is up on his Facebook page. It is captioned, Better Late Than Never. Anthony DeRiggs.
I spent a short time home in Grenada. I attended a bunch of funerals. Came back to Brooklyn, and it is more funerals. Somebody joked recently that instead of raising the retirement age, they should consider lowering it, because so many people are dying in their 50s and in their 60s. And someone joked also that if you're feeling sick, don't go and lie down. You might not get up. But that trip you wanted to take to the homeland, that trip you wanted to go and rekindle friendships, if you could do it now, you better do it. Because you do not hold the key for tomorrow. Only Papa God knows. Better late than never. Well, my boy, I see you finally making a trip back to the Spice Island. They say better late than never. But I am so sad for you. Anyway, home is always home, dead or alive. But I think most of us prefer to be home alive. It would have been very nice for you to go home, sleep in an old house and feel the rain as it pounded on the rooftop. Man, you put your head down to sleep and it feels better than a rainy night in Georgia. You hear Crapo singing in the banana stool behind the house. Dogs barking. Cock crowing. When you wake in the morning, you don't have to reach for a winter coat. You stare through the window and count rain flies like you used to do as a child while growing up in St. Paul's. How relaxing it would have been for you to stand by the fort and delve in the quiet surrounding. You could have sat in the little summer house there and relax. Wouldn't it have been nice for you to savor the aroma of nutmeg and mace in St. Patrick's? Yes. You should have go home occasionally and eat a oilong, a fish broth, and a pea soup with some big dumplings floating in it. And when you bite into them, you smile. You smile with satisfaction. That is the kind of dumpling your mommy used to make. You remember that? You could have climbed the Coxelon mango tree for old time's sake. Pick some cashews from the cashew tree. Drink one of those big water nut. It's a song that promises water nut is good for your daughter. Good for you too. You break your sugar apple in half, and you put all the seeds in your mouth at once. That is living, pal. That is living. But the maker already called you, gave you the signal, and you answered the call. You miss getting up early in the morning and going down by the bay, by the lands. Look good, look. You see them people pulling the fish nets? You could have joined them. get the feel once again. Those are fresh fish. You could put them in the pot right away. Eat them. And wake up those bones long ravaged by the brutal cold in North America. That fish will never see ice. When you drink the fish broth, man, you could pull a good iron. You could put a big yam on top of your head, a bag of yams even, and walk from River Road to the Carronage. Fuss you're strong. Go down to Grandad's Beach before the morning falcock crows. Well, falcock used to crow in Grenada early in the morning when I was growing up. But these days, just as the weather changed, falcock changed too. Falcock's crowing all night. At Grandad's, you will meet some old-timers ducking themselves in the water and chatting. That's by the big tree on the beach. You can see them at Liberal Beach and Batway too. They are soldiers away from the battlefield. They served their time in the snow, and now they are fortunate to salvage some of the spice before Basil calls them home, just like he called you. You could have enjoyed that comforting experience, but you know what? They have to sing a hymn for you as they put you in the soil. They'll say a prayer for you too. Soldiers away from the battlefield. And they'll have a happy hour. For 40 years, you miss all of that. You miss fisherman's birthday on the Lance. You miss all the sweet mangoes from Bonaire in Victoria. You miss the quietness of Granditang. You miss regatta in Carriacou and listening to the sound of the big drums. The big drums with the rhythm all the way from Mother Africa. They say friendship is golden, and there is ample joy in a reunion. It was your choice. Your choice to stay away. And I respect that. But I wish you had made the trip before. I wish you had visited, even if it was for 2 weeks. I will put some golden apples on your grave because I remember how much you loved golden apples. I'm going to put some golden apples on your grave. Better late than never. Anthony Wendell de Riggs.
You know, just in case you're wondering why I've got this big smirk on my face, I'm laughing because last night when I sat down and listened to this piece, I just cracked up. I haven't heard the term falcock since the days when I was growing up in La Baie. We had a number of chickens around the place, big chickens. And obviously, I'm not the only person who noticed this because here on Facebook, I see that TF Richards is saying falcock change too. Yeah. TF, thank you for noticing that. I couldn't help it. You know, roosters can be a real pain in the butt. Right here, I'm in the heart of town, right downtown St. George, and I'm assuming they belong to neighbors, but we have some roosters out here who have absolutely no regard for time. They are going at it, making noise any time of the day. And obviously, there's some hens around here who seem very fond of those roosters. Because sometimes you sit there on the balcony trying to have some breakfast or whatever, or you might even have guests over, and man, they're going at it. hmm And I say, please, for God's sakes, whatever happened to privacy? You know? Anyhow, those roosters, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And by the way, TF says, Mr. DeRiggs, I really hope that you're doing, or what? That you are doing or have the intention to do a book of memories or short stories. TF, where have you been? This man has books out there. Huh? Anthony, you may want to send some links to TF. Yeah. Anthony is he's not just a poet. Man's an author. He's written a number of books. So, check them out. Let me see here. TF says, George, the rooster's giving the church clock competition. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true, man. Okay. Please give me a break. Give me a break. You know, early in the morning, yeah, okay. But please, morning, noon, and night. You know, talking about the roosters and hens, yesterday morning, I sat there. Those of you who've been here know that I have this electricity pole. It's right on Willits Road in front of my place, you know, so when you look out at the view over the city, there's this pole right in front of you. And we also have a lot of pigeons around here. And yesterday morning, I sat here and I watched two pigeons on the top of that pole, right on the top of that pole, being very intimate. I said, George, do you think you would ever have the gall to do that? In open view of everybody? These creatures just don't care. Where were their parents? No upbringing whatsoever. My gosh, please. Anyway, who else is out there now on... Lincoln says, so true, Anthony DeRiggs. Nothing would make me feel better than being at home. The friendliness of my beautiful people. Oh, the good old days. How I love and long to be back. God bless us all. Have an awesome day, everyone. One love. So says Linky out there in Florida. Lincoln, his pieces are always so refreshing. Make me stop and think. Yeah, I listen to those pieces, and it's like reliving my childhood days. Carla Clemens says, Mr. DeRiggs is someone the government should be proud to use. But, and you know something, Carla? Actually, it's not Carla who says that. It's Kipling who says Mr. DeRiggs is someone the government should be proud of. Yeah, that's true. But there are a lot more, like Anthony out there, a lot more. But sadly, we just brush them aside. Well, that's the reason why I've tried to get them on our team. What else here? Bernard Gilbert's all eyes and ears. And Carla Clemens says, good morning, Uncle George, Mr. Anthony DeRiggs, and all the listening audience. And by the way, Anthony has just posted a link, a Facebook link here. He's posted that on our Facebook page, so you can go check out, you know, some of the stuff that he's written. Okay, enough of that. Now, let me take a little break here, and we're going to come on back in just a wee bit with the national report. Hang in there.
Are you equipped to take a closer look behind the numbers? The Caribbean Institute of Forensic Accounting can help you build your professional skills to audit and investigate fraud, waste, and abuse. Through the Forensic Certified Public Accountants FCPA program, you gain qualification to conduct forensic audits and investigations globally, earn international recognition and designation as a Forensic Certified Public Accountant from the Forensic CPA Society of the USA. Certificate courses run May to November 2019 in Grenada at the Grenada National Stadium. To register, contact us at info@cfa-edu.com or 868-224-3478.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Quad Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
Boy, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say, kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, you can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kite threads conduct electricity. Do not fly kites near overhead power lines. This can lead to electric shocks and power outages. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, do not try to retrieve it. Release it and call GRENADA. Always fly kites in open areas. Keep your kites far away from roads. And remember, always clean up after yourself.
GRENADA, energizing our Grenada.
Construction on new emergency operations center soon to begin on the Sister Isle. Details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for today, Monday, April 29th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Construction will soon begin on the new Emergency Operations Center and warehouse in Carriacou. That's according to Minister with responsibility for disaster management, Senator Winston Garwe. The U.S. Southern Command provides infrastructural support to build emergency response capacity in national disaster management agencies in the Caribbean and the Americas. Support is provided both for the physical structures, such as emergency operations centers and warehousing training. The EOC is the coordinating hub for emergency operations. It is the central command and control facility through which all stakeholders coordinate and share information. According to Senator Garwe, final arrangements are being made with the U.S. Southern Command to begin construction.
We are pretty close, or closer to seeing the realization of the construction of the new Emergency Operations Center and warehouse for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. As you know, we would have announced sometime before that the U.S. Southern Command have graciously donated for Carriacou and Petit Martinique a warehouse, new warehouse, and emergency shelter, as well as for the mainland on Grenada. Just about a week ago, we received the RFP, or the request for proposal from Southern Command, and our technical team are now finalizing the document for transmittal to the U.S. Southern Command. So, as I've said, we're pretty closer to seeing actual boots on the ground.
The island is housed to a local headquarters at Bel Air and also a neighboring emergency operations center in Petit Martinique. A Grenadian-born, Canada-based social media consultant says young people need to avoid falling prey to the ills that plague social media. Mr. Kimron Corian, who is also a digital storyteller and part founder of I Am Grenadian, says they need to be careful about what they post online since this can be to their detriment later on in life. He was speaking with the Government Information Service during an interview on Monday.
If you look at what's happening in the United States, we have people who have been in government for years. I know that with the whole prevalence of digital media, people are going and finding things that they did or they said 20 years ago when they were teens and in college, and that those things are coming back and destroy their lives now. Even here in Grenada, employers, and there's a gray line here. Some people think they should, some people think they shouldn't, but employers will, before they make a decision to hire you, will look at the thing that you post online to kind of get to see what kind of person you are. You can create the perfect resume and present yourself in the perfect way. However, when you're online, social media exposes us.
Mr. Corian is in Grenada to conduct his second social media masterclass, and this will take place at the GIDC on Tuesday. The first one was held in February.
Some of the things that we'll be touching on includes creating your social media strategy. Social media starts with having a strategy in place. We're going to be talking about the different type of platforms, the different type of channels, whether it's your own channel, your borrowed channels, and your earned channels. We'll be talking about creating social media campaigns, right? I mean, you could, just like how you launch advertising campaigns, you say, oh, well, this week we're doing an ad campaign, we're going to shoot a video, we're going to get Boise and Westways to be in the video, and we're going to do whatever. There's also a way that you can do that on social media, so we'll be talking about that.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
The eyes of the world are on us more than ever. So let's take it to them. Saturday, May 4th, the Spice Mass Corporation launches Spice Mass 2019. The Caribbean's biggest summer festival. This year's launch starts with a roadshow from Ariza Copper to the National Stadium from 3 p.m. Bring out your last year's costume and join the parade. It's one big experience with a display of fancy math, traditional math, Moko Jumbi, and the most envied Jab Jab. The official opening is at the National Stadium, featuring your favorite soca artists and DJs, Calypso Monarch, Steel Pan champions, and presentations of the 2019 Carnival Queen contestants, plus displays of 2019 costumes, SMC show tickets, and other attractions to be won. Saturday, May 4th, the National Stadium, the launch of Spice Mass 2019. Bring out the entire family. Log on to spicemassgrenada.com for more.
Welcome back. River Sally came alive on Friday with the sights and sounds of the annual Saraka Festival. The festival is well known for its smoked food, dancing and drumming. June Paul attended the event and tells us how the residents prepare and enjoy the food and other aspects of the tradition.
In keeping with the tradition handed down by our foreparents, the annual smoke food cooking and traditional activities formed part of the celebrations. Resident of the area, Corporal Garvin Charles, provided a brief synopsis of the Saraka and spoke of his involvement in the celebrations, which he said is deeply rooted in him.
Saraka comes around after harvest. Because of Shambaland, where we plant a lot of corn and peas and things like that, from my grandparents and my great-grandparents, as they say, is a blessings from the Almighty. What you produced last year, they asked the Almighty to bless them for another year. So as a result of that, the remainder after harvest, we cook and share it for people. It's something that goes through my vein because my grandmother, who is Miss Anna Edwards, started this Salaka aspect of things. My aunt Anne Marie, my grandaunt Lizzie, who is 103. So it's just something that goes through my vein. My father, who was one of the great dancer in that aspect, he's about 77 now, living in England. So, it's something that I just have to continue keeping up.
Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick East, Honorable Pamela Moses, spoke of the involvement of the youth in ensuring the tradition stays alive and the community spirit exhibited by residents towards the event's success.
In River Sally, youths are fully involved. We have blocks of young people, those who, like the footballers, they have their own section over there. They make great soup. I left them making oil down. We have, all the youths who hang together. they create their own pots, they cook, and we have the young people who live within the families, they're helping their parents. I think that the tradition will stay strong because when I walk around today, I see a lot of young people involved in the cooking. And they're involved in the committee. I mean, it's a cultural thing. They have learned how to give back. They had to grow the animals. They had to rear the fowl. So they would already, after today, be preparing for next year. They have to rear the pigs, the cattle and the sheep, the goat, and, grow their crops, So basically, the community, it's well organized to be producing such an event year come, year go. And as the parliamentary representative, I'm extremely proud of the people of River Sally.
Meanwhile, some residents are calling for more traditional music to be played. They are concerned that some of the music played can kill the tradition.
When we old parents want to speak the part where they run us away. So same thing will happen with this Salaka. When the children come around, they want to keep the children away, but the children have to be involved. We could get all the old heads that like Brother Gavin here and all the other rest of chill people. We get all them little children and train them to do and tell them this is the way it's supposed to go and not this DJ, This, come back. So the drum and the foot have to come back.
This DJ thing is wasted time.
Too much a DJ in the place. All we need is a local drums. Beat the local drums, your foot on the ground, and you make noise. And we're good to go. Whole night. We beat the whole night to the drum until 4 the morning, until sunrise.
I am June Paul reporting for the National Report.
Thank you, June. Finally, the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Authority, GHTA, will this weekend recognize the players who continue to contribute to the development of the industry. It is hosting the second Gala Awards and Dance at the Radisson Beach Resort on Saturday. Mrs. Marie Filden, member of the Gala Committee, spoke about the event and says the GHTA will continue this event every year.
We plan to continue doing this every year. This year it is at the Radisson Conference Center, 6:30 on May the 4th, and we're going to go have a little dance party a little later on. Again, this is for the staff, this is for the people, so we want to make sure it is fun. And we have a few speakers, including Carol Hay, and a few other people are going to be joining us as well. So if you're interested in coming, tickets are 175 EC. It includes dinner and all the entertainment that comes with it. This year, our theme is going to be more environmental. So we're looking to try and make it a zero waste event. All the decorations are going to be environmentally friendly. We're not going to be having plastic at the event. And also, of course, we have an environmental award. The awards itself are going to be locally made and environmentally produced. So that's a theme that we're going along with this year.
Each hotel was given the opportunity to submit the names of individuals to the authority, which was followed by a panel discussion to select awardees for the different categories. That story just ended the National Report for today, Monday, April 29th. Let's recap the top story. Construction on new emergency operations center soon to begin on the Sister Isle. On behalf of everyone here at the Government Information Service who made this newscast possible, I'm Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Okie dokie, there goes your Monday edition of the National Report from the GEIS. Pilgrims, 9:35, 25 away from the hour. And just in case you're wondering, excuse me, what's with the perked up collar here this morning, you're going to find out just a wee bit when we check in with Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts, I know you're listening, so please put your collar up. Put your collar up, please. We have to do this in unison. Please, please. Anthony Park says he's listening to us this morning. Peter Bishop says, what we need in Carriacou is improvement in health care, where blood tests can be done at our hospital, where x-rays can be done at our hospital, and other such services like that. And responding to something that was mentioned here earlier on about the fact that, people like Anthony DeRiggs and so on and so forth are not being used as well as they should be here in Grenada. Kipling said here, one of the reasons government won't use these great people is simple. They cannot afford the masses to gain too much knowledge. It would shorten their stay in power. Sad, but true. Anthony says here, friend, I get more recognition from the Caribbean groups here in Brooklyn, but I'm satisfied with the responses I get from my people. That, to me, is what counts. I just do it from the heart. Okay, so Mr. Roberts is standing by, but let me take a little break here and we'll come on back.
Are you equipped to take a closer look behind the numbers? The Caribbean Institute of Forensic Accounting can help you build your professional skills to audit and investigate fraud, waste, and abuse. Through the Forensic Certified Public Accountants FCPA program, you gain qualification to conduct forensic audits and investigations globally. Earn international recognition and designation as a Forensic Certified Public Accountant from the Forensic CPA Society of the USA. Certificate courses run May to November 2019 in Grenada at the Grenada National Stadium. To register, contact us at info@cfa-edu.com or 868-224-3478.
My name is Jennifer James, and I've been making confectionaries for the past 7 years. Growing up as a little girl, I always wanted to make these little things. Fudge, sugar cake, tamarind ball, these little things. I read something actually, and it said that tamarind itself is very good because it eliminates fat from the liver. You get the mature tamarind and you crack it, you shell it out. I would add a little baking soda, some spices. I would leave it to rest probably for about 2 hours and then add my sugar and just start kneading. I usually knead it hard enough so that I can roll it. When I finish roll it, I will paste it with the actual white or brown sugar, and you have a nice tamarind ball. I have been providing food fair with tamarind ball about 6 years now. I started producing tamarind ball to sell for the school children. I thought I could advance somewhere. So I went to food fair and I asked one of the sales persons there if they would be interested in selling my tamarind ball. And she told me yes. She told me to bring 20 packets to start with. It was really a joy for me because I wanted to extend on my little business. My name is Jennifer James and I work with the food fair to provide you with tamarind balls.
Alrighty, folks, here we go. Time now to say good morning. There he is. There he is. Good morning, Mr. Roberts. How are you?
Well, I wouldn't complain, George, except
Why
I
am I
want
not
to
hearing
know.
Mr. Roberts?
Oh, you can't hear?
I'm not hearing you, sir.
You're not hearing me. I'm hearing you loud and clear. I don't know what I would have done.
My goodness.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay. I'll tell you what,
Okay.
Mr. Roberts, you just hang in there for a sec. We're going to
All right.
try and do some little adjustments here and see if we can eventually get to hear you. Hang in there for just a sec.
I'll do as you
If at
say.
first you don't succeed, try and try again. Who used to say that? My mother, my grandmother, everybody. Let's pull that one out. And we're going to
I
try
know
this
you
one
seen
now and see if we can hear Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts?
I know you seen it.
Yeah, man, there
Try
he
and
is.
try again.
Yeah. Mr. Roberts, we're both looking very chic this morning, aren't we? Eh? How you doing?
Well, I want to know why you told me to do this.
What do you say?
You know,
Well, when you first came on this morning, I noticed that your collar was unbuttoned, and then when you sat in front of the camera, you dressed up and tried to look nice. And I said, no, man, let's be cool this morning, hey? How about that?
Well, I'm following instructions. I hope I'm following well.
You're following well. And by the way, man, you look marvelous this morning. Good picture of you there.
Thanks.
We're red and green. The only color missing here is yellow.
All right. Well, that will come one of these days.
Listen, your good buddy out in New York, Margaret. She says, "What? He get the lighting right this time?"
No, I have to get no lighting. It's the same thing. In fact, I was worried that I was going to be chaotic as usual.
Nah.
The same way it started over there, all I did, I twist the table a bit.
Okay.
With the computer.
Well, I tell you what, get a piece of chalk and mark where you've got the laptop, mark where you've got your chair, mark everything, because you are ideal this morning, and this is the way we want it, and Margaret's going to hug you and kiss you the next time you see it.
I'll take your instructions and follow it.
Okay.
I document them.
So what's up your sleeve this morning, my friend?
Well, George, we can't get away from it. Tomorrow is Labor Day, and obviously I'm a Labor child, so I have to talk about Labor Day and I suppose the challenges I perceive may be on the horizon. So the Grenada Trade Union Council, like other trade unions around the world, will tomorrow observe, for me, and I am sure for many, the most significant day for workers across the world, that is Labor Day. The theme under which the Grenada Trade Union Council will celebrate and observe Labor Day, social and economic justice, it must respect workers' rights. It is an appropriate theme, as far as I'm concerned, to celebrate May Day in these challenging economic times. The theme, in fact, puts the focus on some of the key issues that affect us as workers. However, George, I will not fail to say that we are seeing a new working environment in which much of the benefits that workers earned over the years are being eliminated slowly. And here in Grenada, there is no doubt about it, our government is perhaps setting the precedent where they are creating more contract jobs, outsourcing, and everything else that denies workers, particularly the young workers, permanent jobs. It may be said that that is what's happening in the bigger countries in the world. But remember, this is a small population. This is a small economy. And we have built communities in Grenada based on workers having permanent jobs. So no doubt about it, we'll expect some changes. But the proliferation of outsourcing and contract labor really frightens me. Too many young people for the last 10, 15 years. So you started at 18, 19, 20. They're in the late 30s or mid 30s and are still on contract. That could never be a bright future. So George, I'm saying to conclude that this May Day represents a challenge for the young workers in particular to recognize that in the next 20, 25 years, if they do not struggle, many of them will be a poor group of elderlies going home. And the story about the NIS must not be just, lyrics every day. They must take the lead and demand that the state take the lead in ensuring that what is recommended by the actuaries be implemented. That's my little piece, George.
Well, you know, there's been talk about fixing the NIS for some time now. Are you seeing any movement in that direction?
Well, there are, plenty talking taking place, and I was impressed with the meeting I attended with the directors, with the CEO of the NIS. I thought he was very vibrant and wanting to see something done. But again, the final decisions are in the hands of the political directorate. You could only, his job is to make the correct recommendations. Their job is to give him the legislation to implement it. And if they don't, he can't do anything. So the workers must make it happen. The workers must demand. They vote, and their votes create a government. So they must make it a bread and butter issue, and they can't ignore it any longer because, George, we may not be around then, but many of these young folks will be in their prime, in their 50s, looking for something when they get to 60 and beyond. And as you heard from the director, by 2032 or thereabout, if nothing is done, we may be like Antigua. Some group get paid this week, another group the following week, and maybe on a first come, first served basis. We don't want that. We want everybody gets what is theirs by the 28th, the 29th of the month. That's what it is right now. But if you don't fix it, as they say to you, in the next 10 or so years, you certainly will end up like Antigua and other countries.
You know, we're going to get back to the Labor Day in just a wee bit, but just sticking with the NIS for just a minute. I think everybody's aware now that the NIS has been putting out more in benefits than they've been taking in contributions, eh? And, pardon me?
No, that's right, you're right.
That's right, okay. And there's some concern that, I'm not sure, was it 2030? If
2032.
2032, if this continues, they ain't got nothing.
Well, unless you fix it. So the recommended increase in the age in 2021 or thereabout to 61 and then to 62, 63 and finally to 65. I don't see, in fact, many people are today working up to 65, but there are options. You can still go at 60. You can go and get what you contributed. So it doesn't prevent you from getting benefits. You just go to 65, then you get a little more than those who go at 60. So let's face it, it's not in any way going to impact negatively on anybody. If you choose to, if you want to retire early, retire early. You could retire early now in any event.
Somebody was raising the point that one of the contributing reasons, one of the contributing factors to the NIS being in the mess that it is right now is because apparently they have been used as a sort of revolving ATM.
That's not true, you know. I think people are making comments all over the world. Government dip their hand, and well, they don't dip their hand. Remember, the Grenada thing is so unique that the government can't just take money. There are two employers, there are two workers' movement representatives, and 3 government reps. The government rep by itself can't create a majority vote. So there has to be bilateral. And if you look at the international report on NIS throughout the region, you'll see that Grenada in the top 5 in terms of following what is best practice, unlike many other countries. And that's the best thing the PRG ever did. I wish the so-called democratic governments that we have elected over the years create that kind of balance, because every other statutory body in Grenada, the government has a majority and can just do whatever they want. In the NIS, that can't happen. I'm telling you because I served on the TUC for about, 25 years. We have produced some of the, I would say, the hawks that served on that board. And we get everything. So we know what to do and we know when to protest. So that's not true. That's a lot of hogwash that has become a ATM. That's not true. Yes, they have borrowed, and that has happened everywhere, but not excessively.
Okay.
Yes, they might have had some kind of haircut, and it may not be right. But the point I'm making to you that the way people create this milking cow, the facts are not there. And the facts are not only written by us. There's an international group that comes and vet the whole process, the actuaries, who are ILO personnel.
I'm glad you cleared that up, Ray. And again, this is one of the reasons why I say that we need to be so careful when we see and read things in social media, and not just social, but the traditional media as well. T.F. Richard says, Ray, I have a quick question. What's up with the investment the NIS would have made in real estate and nothing's been done with it? For example, the old Hotel Havana opposite the SSU. You know about that one?
Well, I'm not too sure I could comment on that one. As I said to you again, this thing has had very good directors. I mean, there are some who would have had a political inclination, but I'm telling you that I can speak for those who have represented the TUC, the late Derek Allard, the late Stanley Roberts, Anselm de Burghs. You now have Kenny James, you have Bert Patterson, Madonna Harford. So there are people that you know, and there are people with standing in society. I don't know where some people get this information that they say. I mean, and you can't stop people if they have a perception of it. But the engagement is that they put out their audited reports that are done by creditable auditors, Panel Foster and others. So sometimes, I don't know where people. I know it's a country where rumors are certainly taken to heart, and facts are obviously ignored. And that's the reality of Grenada. So many economic issues. You hear about oil and gas. You hear about CBI. And people not interested in the facts. All they're interested is in what your good friend will say, the money.
It's good hearing that from you, an insider, Ray. Thanks for clarifying that. Anthony Park says, the matter of contracts will certainly create a serious problem in the years ahead, not only for the workers, but more so for the government. They will have to heavily fund the social programs too. What say you?
Excellent, Anthony. Good morning, wherever you are. I think somewhere in Maryland. Good morning to you. Good to hear you. And Anthony, I hope that today's generation of workers would heed to that message, because George, there is no doubt about it. If you look, I have met some workers outsourced who are doing outsourced labor, and one female says to me, Ray, I'm collecting everything. I'm paying my NIS. I'm paying whatever contribution. Now that's a young person who is likely to have 2 or 3 girlfriends, who wants to nice up every other show that comes on. You pay that person the money. I know how strict we are in demanding that employers pay. I know there are some who are defaulters, but you're giving an individual that, and he or she does not honor it for quite a number of years. When they get to the retirement stage, Tony is right. The state will have to observe that kind of responsibility. So I'm not saying I understand there are some jobs that must be outsourced. I understand there are some jobs that must be contracted. All I'm saying, you can't have nurses who are there for 15 years and shall always be there to do that same job. You can't turn that into contract just like that. In our small economy, clearly these people are going to be doing, well, if not a quick fix, they're going to be looking for a second income, knowing that this thing is not a permanent. I found myself very comfortable when I got my appointment. And I usually tell folks that the 37 years I stayed for, I never had a sick leave. That didn't say I didn't, but I love what I was doing. And I know there are many people with that passion, not the money.
T.F. Richards is going back here. By the way, Anthony says he's in Washington State. Did you hear me?
Say that again?
Anthony Park.
Uh-huh.
He says he's in Washington State.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not a presidential candidate, though.
Anthony, presidential candidate. Just going back to TF here for a minute, he says the reason he was asking the question a little while ago is if you invest in something and it appears to be a sitting duck, then isn't it a bad investment?
Well, there's an investment committee up with the TUC. And let me put it this way. We did not pick one of us. We picked somebody who is well schooled in the area, banker, of many years of repute. So the committee that I know, it's a very respected group. I don't know that they would be wishy-washy. So again, I wouldn't want to comment on things that I don't have real detail on.
Fair enough. Ray, you've been around for a while with the labor movement, and you know that every May Day there is usually some sort of militancy at these permits. Okay, I have a two-parter here for you. One, is the labor situation in Grenada today any better than it was last year, last May Day? And two, can we expect to see any sort of militancy in St. David's tomorrow?
Well, the second question first. I'm sure the teachers in particular and the public workers are going to be extremely militant.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I hate seeing it, but there's going to be some unwanted noise, I would think, if I were a government official. I'm sure that you're going to find some behaviors that and Margaret would know that. She would have covered that at sometimes in the 80s or wherever it is, when the minister had a difficult time in presenting a speech. And I'm sure you'll find some of that there tomorrow, because the deduction from the teachers' pay, as you notice, brought about work to rule, and that has not ended yet. And then the dismissal of the teachers in the sense that the state had its own games and created its own a charade of these things, meaning that you sort of give the impression that the teachers really, you didn't miss them. I'm sure you're going to see placards. It'll be interesting to see if the Prime Minister comes along. Normally he comes along. It would be interesting to see tomorrow. I think he's brave enough. I think he will come. Although I noticed that when I was going down to the airport this morning, I saw the two cars. I don't know if he was leaving the country or whatever for some engagement. But it would be interesting to see Honorable Peter David and the great Chester Humphrey.
Look at that smirk on his face.
I would love to see them. I'm going there tomorrow, George. As usual. It's my birthday tomorrow. That's why I celebrate it, because it costs nothing. It costs nothing. I don't have to, foot any bill.
All the entertainment provided for free.
That's correct. So, George, I think for those in news, I am sure they will be there bright and early, monitoring every centimeter of the parade and every word that is uttered by the union leaders. I would love to hear Jules Mason tomorrow, the president of the Commercial and Industrial Workers. He has become the live wire and the man who coins phrases that sends the crowd, in a frenzy.
In a nutshell, though, so essentially you're saying that labor relations aren't any better today than they were a year ago.
No, George. I think we are at a frightening point. I mean, let's take the pension thing. There's a gentleman, a medico. You would know him because you would have been using the traffic, and he calls the traffic. He spent about how many years? 30 plus. And I thought he was in the group of people that they said, who benefited from the whatever pension law they created. And he came in 79. And he told me a week ago, he said, Ray, that news is yet to impact on me. Nobody called me, nobody tell me a word. Then there's another gentleman, Sutton, who used to be a police officer, used to be in protecting the Public Service Commission there. I saw him, he said, Ray, the news for him has no truth. So I'm talking about he made 30-something, 35 years or so. So the point I'm making, you hear in news, and when you think some of the people that should affect, they say, look, things remain just as bad as well. So, George, really and truly, I believe that the teachers are the ones who are going to make a difference. And unless workers realize the state is the one that creates policies, they go to Parliament. You have to demand that the politicians of the day, the government of the day, do some things. I mean, in Gary days, as much as people may have their opinions, you never see some of the things that you see now. I mean, you just didn't see it. I mean, whether you like it or not, he had his problems and people could see what they want. But what I'm seeing now is a systematic dismantling of the public service. There are as many conform workers as many contract workers. Outsourcing is rampant. And when I worked there, after 3.5 years, I was appointed.
Okay.
You got a confirmation job. Now I could call people who are there 18 years and praying that some miracle will happen from above, because it doesn't look like it'll happen on earth.
All right, we're just about out of time. Anthony Park says, in my day, it would be, quote, hold the fort, teachers are coming.
George, I wish you get a time to come up there tomorrow. I'll leave home around 10 o'clock to go there tomorrow. And I maybe you'll spend the rest of the day up there engaging, because you meet plenty of friends and you renew acquaintances. So I look forward to a wonderful day. And let me say to you and to all workers, because you're a worker, you're one of those workers that go 40 hours a week and more. Happy
40?
Labor Day. May God bless you and enjoy everything tomorrow brings.
The last time I saw a 40-hour week was about 15 years ago.
All right.
It's more like 80 and plus now.
Well, we may one day get to be like Margaret. Don't have to work, just have income.
Speaking about Margaret, boy, let me tell you, Ray, I don't know what the heck you and I would do without Margaret to keep an eye on us. A little while ago, you were in touch with Anthony Park, and he said to you that he's in Washington State. And you commented about whether or not he's running for president, right? Well, Margaret says, Ray, Washington State and Washington, D.C. are two different places.
Well, I thought I knew that. He said Washington State. So I thought he could be one of the candidates who emerged from nowhere. So that's what I thought. I know. I mean, I have that very clear.
Right.
In fact, let me put it this way. I am very familiar with Washington State. That's where one of the female senators from. So, and she's a Republican who often sometimes changes. So that's not news, Margaret. That's stale news.
Ray, don't you try to stand up to Margaret. You ain't gonna win. And if you didn't figure that out last week, and you ain't figure it out this week, you're in the doghouse, boy. You're in the doghouse.
With you. What if you there? I'm happy. You're back.
Oh, she says, ha, 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 in my dreams, Ray. Okay. Thanks a lot,
Bye-bye.
Ray. And enjoy your May Day parade in St. David tomorrow.
Good, I'll do that, my friend. You have a wonderful day. God bless.
Okie doke. Mr. Ray Roberts there. Yes, sirree. Hang on. Let me bring myself back into the picture here. Yeah, there we go. Thanks a lot, Ray. We'll see you next Wednesday. Okay. Folks, that's just about going to pull the curtain down. However, one more quick little break, and then we'll be back.
Are you equipped to take a closer look behind the numbers? The Caribbean Institute of Forensic Accounting can help you build your professional skills to audit and investigate fraud, waste, and abuse. Through the Forensic Certified Public Accountants FCPA program, you gain qualification to conduct forensic audits and investigations globally, earn international recognition and designation as a Forensic Certified Public Accountant from the Forensic CPA Society of the USA. Certificate courses run May to November 2019 in Grenada at the Grenada National Stadium. To register, contact us at info@cfa-edu.com or 868-224-3478.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grenadans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Alrighty, folks, time to go now, but not without some inspirational words here. You know that at the end of every program, we try to provide a little encouragement for you, a little hope. But sometimes it's also necessary to bring you the other side, like a warning. And that's what we got for you this morning. Today's reading comes to you from the book of Zephaniah chapter 2, verses 1, 2, and 3. Gather together, gather yourselves together, you shameful nation, before the decree takes effect, and that day passes like wind-blown chaff, before the Lord's fierce anger comes upon you, before the day of the Lord's wrath comes upon you. Seek the Lord, all you humble in the land, you who do what he commands. Seek righteousness, seek humility. Perhaps you will be sheltered on the day of the Lord's anger. Warning, warning. Zephaniah chapter 2, verses 1 to 3. Okay, you guys have gone quiet on Facebook. Thank you very much for spending a part of your Tuesday morning with us, and I do wish you and yours a wonderful May Day. Hope we have some good weather. For those of you not going off to St. David's, I imagine many of you will be heading off to the beach, or probably just spending some quiet time with family. One way or another, may the good Lord bless and keep you. And yes, we will be here tomorrow morning. Sharon Roberts is going to be joining us, so please be sure to do so as well. God bless you.